Everybody, I'm Eliminator. So today, I thought it would be fun talking about how we could fix Destiny, what can they do to, bring some of the community back. And while this is happening, I'm going to be doing this quest, completing 4 heroic strikes. Because, I could be a higher light level, but I decided to use like pretty standard thingies. Even my mark is kind of low. So anyway, I want to talk about what they could do, like on my opinion, to bring back the Destiny community. So I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the community is leaving. A lot of people are stirring up things like, not enough new content is happening. People got mad over the microtransactions on the tower. And when you go to the Facebook page of Fireteam Chat, which is run by fans, that's like 1,000 something members. Not too great, but it's enough to see what people are thinking. And everyone into Destiny like they used to be year one. I think, personally, I find myself putting sometimes to go to Destiny and then just taking it out and playing something else. Sometimes I would load in Destiny and like think, okay, I'll do a raid, I'll do some strikes, I'll finish my exotic sword quests, but I don't want to. Like I don't have the drive like I used to. I don't want to do it. One thing I'm sure a lot of people were looking forward to before was the sleeper simulant, because it was that mystery weapon who people assumed that it would be on the level of Galahorn, but it's not. It's a cool weapon, but I feel like what made year one so great was not only like the 2 raids and all those things. It was also the hunt for the Galahorn. It was that weapon that you need to have. And the thing is, it's like, it's not like you could do a quest to get it. You got to get lucky, which means it pushed people to do nightfalls. It pushed people to do raids. It pushed people to do anything they can just to have a chance at getting this weapon. And I feel like that's something Destiny's really lacking. I have every exotic, or I'm sure almost every. I'm sure I'm missing like some, I don't know, arms or something. But I so doubt it. Well, the swords, exotic swords, 2 of them, but nah, nothing that crazy. So, and I could honestly say that nothing's, captivating my attention like it used to. Another thing I want to talk about is the raid, personally. So when King's Fall came out, it was awesome. Like, I'm sure every team out there was like, yo, this is the greatest team ever. I mean, greatest raid ever. And that's a normal reaction, especially because it's new and it's such a hyped up raid. But when you look at it, Vault of Glass was like the best raid to me personally, and to a lot of other people. It had enough puzzles, it had enough boss battles or just fights. But to me, King's Fall, too many puzzles. Like the War Priest fight isn't that challenging. Even at first it was a little bit, but like the real fight that everyone's talking about is Gorgoroth, because that's really the most annoying part of the raid. Gorgoroth, you need too much communication, and just like Oryx, but I always found myself defeating Oryx much faster than I defeated Gorgoroth. Even in raid challenges, Gorgoroth is a pain. So that's just, to me personally, I feel like that's another thing they're lacking, just a perfect raid like they used to have. So just quickly, I want to step away from the PvE aspect and step into the PvP. If you're like me, I love doing trials because I like competitive plays. I like to communicate with my team. I like the just the competitive like feeling of like, we gotta destroy them. Different strategies, different weapons you could use, different, like all these maps. But from the Thorn era to now, the 1,000-yard stare era, it's really annoying. It really is. And if you find if you're a sniper who likes to snipe, good for you, but you need to understand how unleveled the fighting is. When I could get revived and just sniped, it's not fair. It's ridiculous that I could be running at someone with a shotgun and they could be confident enough to just kill me, because they know that with the aim assist they will get that shot. And I feel like snipers are not very controversial in Destiny because everybody's talking about them and stuff like that. A lot of YouTubers like More Console and Cooch, they're all like, oh, snipers should be the best, like shotguns are OP. But you could stop a shotgun. like a sniper, it's really like it's luck. If you have somebody shooting down lane, like if somebody's in control of a lane with a sniper, you're gonna get very lucky to actually get across. This is where I feel like the Thorn should have been really good. Everybody, if you've played during the Thorn time, you'd know that once you get shot with the Thorn once and you start burning, you step away. You shoot someone with the Thorn, they step away. That's exactly what snipers need right now, something to stop them. I also find it kind of stupid that if you shoot someone aiming down a sniper, they don't flinch. It doesn't get off it doesn't, throw off their aim. It's just perfectly fine. I feel like that deserves a video on its own. Snipers. I just want to get like the basic idea that snipers are very one-sided in this game. You can't really do much against them, especially because some people are very crazy with them. And considering some maps are just catered to snipers. Another thing in PvP is warlocks. So I do not remember a single warlock patch. I really don't. Maybe there was one, like a tiny one, but I really don't. So, and if you love to use Titans and Hunters, they get nerfed from time to time. Blink got nerfed in general. Titan Sunbreaker got nerfed up the ass. I could defeat a yesterday I was playing Trials and I defeated a Sunbreaker twice with my shotgun, and just fighting him like it was a joke. He would throw hammers at me and I just dodged them. It was a joke. It was ridiculous. So I think warlocks are ridiculous because I used to love to run a warlock. Like I really did. It was my first, like my top character. My first one was a Titan, but warlock was my top one. But I feel like PvP standards, the burn that they have is just ridiculous. I think the exotics they have are also crazy. Yeah, they don't have legs, but I mean, like, what you would want them to have agility? No, they have, they have very important armor that suits them with their supers. Like spamming grenades, which is, believe me, if you're a warlock and you could spam grenades, especially like the ones that burn, it's pretty much over for anybody. Just 2 grenades and it'll make everyone run away. It's like crowd control, and I feel like that's really disappointing considering you can't do anything against them. But I feel like that's Deej's fault. Deej has that whole warlock nation, and I think that if maybe there's some bias towards it, I'm not really sure, but I just find it kind of ridiculous that the range on warlocks is not increased. I mean, was never touched. They could melee you from a fucking ridiculous distance. And I also feel like that deserves a video on its own. Let's do PvE and PvP. And that's why I think this game will never go, in competitive like esports, because it's just like, if you look at Call of Duty and Halo after a while, yeah, you might not like those games, but there's some sort of, something you could do against each weapon. There's some sort of skill. Here, there are multiple times where you shoot someone next to the shoulder and they just head would you just get a headshot. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like, and yeah, I mean, of course it's great for you if you get a headshot, but I mean, look at it in the long run. It doesn't really make much sense. And I feel like that's the most messed up part, and that really prevents me from playing PvP. I just don't feel as excited as I used to. Like, even when Thorns were around, which was like when I started playing PvP heavy, they like with the hand cannons running wild, Last Word, Hawkmoon, the ridiculous weapons, you could do something against them. Like, I could run up on them and shotgun them. A sniper, I find it much more difficult. I'm a shotgun guy, and I find it much more difficult to actually deal with snipers. Another thing is maps. I feel like the only map that I love, absolutely, I feel like is a perfect PvP map, is Burning Shrine. Mainly because it helps whatever side you spawn on. Yes, one side you could have the sun on your side, but in the other you're in those halls, and you have much more cover provided for you. I feel like it's much more rounded towards both sides rather than most maps, like the courthouse or whatever it's called, cathedral, I think, I forgot. You know, there are multiple times where I spawned on the bottom of the map, and like I just got sniped from spawn. I got sniped. Like that should never happen in a game. That should really never happen in a game. It's not right. It tells you how lazy the design was or something. Like that just doesn't make any sense to me. And I feel like that's another thing that people get annoyed for, especially people who love PvP, who, you know, who are those kind of players, who came from Halo, who came from any other game and just want to have fun. That just ruins it for them. But now, instead of what's wrong with Destiny, I feel like I'm gonna say stuff that they could fix to make me come back fully. I mean, I'm back, but I mean, like, I'd want to be more into it. And probably most other players. I feel like they need to have some kind of content ready, like, every single week. You know, so every single week something new would happen. Not every month, not every 3 months, not every 2 months. Just like every week something. And I don't mean trials. I mean, there should be more. You need to have more. Because not everyone's great at trials, you know what I mean? Like, there are multiple times I try to take someone to trials, help them get to the lighthouse, and it just, you know, it didn't work out. I didn't have the power to carry somebody, you know. So I feel like they should have something every week catered for both PvP players and PvE, and that'll be cool. I also feel like they could add a weapon such as the Galahorn that you could only get from a lucky drop. I also feel like they need to fix Nightfalls. I don't even do Nightfalls anymore. Like, I don't care about Nightfalls because every time I go in there, I just get garbage. Just garbage. Like 270 something guns. Like, it's garbage. I don't need it. It does not help me out. You know what I mean? It's just silly. As for raid, I feel like the drops need to be a little, like, how am I supposed to get to 320 when I've been doing on my Titan the highest light level I could be is 319. I've been doing raids for my Titan every single week, and I've not once gotten the hard raid helmet. Not once. I got one that's 312. After that, not a single one. It's been weeks. I feel like that's not fair. I feel like that's, you know, like, and I get it, they're not gonna put more skill into it because they're trying to help out everybody, but that is something that just, wow, that is something that just gets me aggravated a little bit because I feel like I can't, you know. But, you know, another thing my friend was telling me is he feels like getting through 320 is just a waste of time. It's just a number, and I felt that way since year one, especially when, you know, I knew friends who played Vault of Glass all the time trying to get to that level 30, and then the DLC came out, Dark Below, and you could just buy armor that makes you like 31. Like, I still kind of like don't understand that, and I don't get why people don't backlash at it like they do in Call of Duty. If Call of Duty does something wrong, people, you know, fuck this game, worst game ever. But for some reason this game just plays you like that, and everything's supposed to be cool. I don't understand that. It's just stupid. So hopefully, like, maybe, I don't really know a way to fix that, but, you know, that, I don't know, that's something, that's like a side note for me. But yeah, I feel like they should add a gun that, you know, you get after, just a lucky gun that you can get luckily from a drop, Nightfall drop, anything like that. Fix Nightfall loot, like, have a bigger percentage to get what you need to get. Wow, what else? I also think that they might as well, they need to bring up some weapons in PvP. You know, now most days it's pulse rifles, hand cannons at times, almost never auto rifles. And I don't mean the Doctrine, because the Doctrine is just ridiculous, but when you look at it, it takes a lot of bullets to kill someone. It might drain their health because you're shooting them so much, but I mean, come on, the amount of bullets it takes is kind of still ridiculous. I feel like I love the Soros, and I mean, I know a lot of people love the Soros, but you can't really use it that much because guess what? You're gonna get outnumbered by a fucking sniper and a hand cannon or something like that, and I feel like that's just wrong. They need to bring leveling back to PvP, and, you know, so it's based on, you know, better weapon stats, I guess, like make them more rounded towards each other, so there could actually be competitive play. nerf the warlocks, or at least bring back the Sunbreaker Lake a little bit, because they just nerfed it to the ground. Like, there's no, like, the only reason I run the Sunbreaker is for those grenades. I don't even use Sunbreaker, and that's the sad part. I get it was OP, but how come nobody bitched about hunters? Hunters are literally made for Crucible. From day one, Blade Dancer would wipe everyone out. Same with Golden Gun. Nobody bitched about that. As soon as a Titan gets something that's crazy, something that can, you know, run around and just cause havoc, oh, that's a problem, we need to nerf it up the ass. I just think it's messed up, man. Maybe have some kind of cool... I also find it useless going to the tower, except for like when I need to pick something up. Maybe have some sort of like mini games you could play in the tower. I think that'd be cool. A firing range, or like a little boxing match where you just gotta punch each other. Like, just that's a stupid idea, but I hope people get my point. Like, just something fun to do in the tower with other people, to interact in a different way. That'd be really cool. Same as with the reef. I don't really go on the reef much. And back to my point about like exotics. If you're a player one who has everything, you don't get excited for Zer anymore. I don't. Like, I don't even care what he has. So I mean, you know, that's the ending of our video, guys. Let me know what you think. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.